Sharing.
Awesome.
See. Right, guys. So you just go to Google. I just type in Gravini, Gravini.cz, and it'll take you to their main website. I'll put the link in the chat as well, or if somebody can post it there, it'll be great. And then over here, they've got a cube designer, nice little box designers, different shaped boxes, shelf designers, and chest designs for pirate chests, bottles, you name it. So I think let's start with the basic one, which is the box designer. I think most of us make boxes and stuff most of the time. But what we do is we normally make our boxes in Maker cases somewhere, then we take them into Corel or Inkscape or wherever we're drawing, and then we modify them to fit. So the most important thing as you get in here is make sure my thing is in a different language. Translate me. Oh. It's when I get to an English version. Yes, that's better. Sorry, guys. The important thing here is to first always set our thickness to 3mm or 6mm mostly here in South Africa. By default, this thing goes to 4mm, what they use in Russia or wherever. The kerf, I normally just put mine on 0 because I manage my kerf from my cutting program. If you want to manage the kerf directly from the design, you can put that in. If you don't know what kerf is, put it on a note and we'll explain it one day. Just for nice little visual purposes, when you're doing quotes for people and stuff, you can make it look like metal, or you can make it look like plywood. And you can actually then show them the size and what the box is going to look like. Very simple, yeah. With the width, let's just make a 250, make it 100 high, let's make it 175 deep. Simple as that. You move around using your middle mouse button and your right click button. If you hold your middle mouse button in, it moves. If you hold your left click button in, it spins it around for you. Now that's all nice and dandy, and you can export this and do whatever. Oh, and of course we can change the finger size. I hate small fingers. I normally go for.
Maar je kan lezen net wat ons zien.
Sê iemand iets? No? Okay. I like to make as big fingers as possible that fits onto my side. But I know a lot of people like the look of the ones with the smaller little fingers. But yeah, whatever floats your boat, you can change that over there. And then what's really cool about this program, which makes it different from the others, is that it's very visual. So if I wanted to change this side, I click on the side with a mouse. It pops up a bunch of different things. I can say, okay, I want to add legs. I click on legs and boom, there's legs on the design. I can click on the side. I say I want diamonds. Or I can click on it and say, give me hexagons. Oh, I clicked on the one behind it. Put it back to normal. Let's put the base back to normal. So you can really get creative, and you can start playing with the box. It's only got certain presets, but it still saves a hell of a lot of time. If you're building a little hasty or something, maybe let's do that. Let's build a AC. Let's put bricks on the side. So I'm just moving around by holding my middle mouse button in, and I'm rotating by holding my left click in, and I'm zooming in and out with my wheel button, if you were wondering how that's done. So there we've got little bricks right around our house. And we've got nice little feet. We can click on the lid, and we can say, right, give me a hinge lid. It'll give you a nice little design with a hinge lid, and you can actually play the video and record it or whatever to show your client what it will look like. It uses, I'm not the fondest of the way that it does this little skew line. So I normally go and I edit it and I cut it over here, and just modify it a bit. Sorry, I'm going all over the show. Yeah, I'm going to make you guys seasick. I wanted to show you that little, it says got that little circle that goes onto the little tortiki over there. If we wanted to make a sliding lid, just click that. What's nice, it puts a nice little tab in the front for you. Gives you all the little bits and pieces that you need for your sliding lid, and you can play the video backwards and forwards, and you can demonstrate to your client. It's got a pot lid option. And then I think the one that most people will find really nice, which we battle with, is the roof. Because to get, this one that's at the angle, to match the angle over here and get those tabs to line up, a lot of people battle with that. But literally over here now, on your roof, you can set the height of your roof. You can set the height of your legs if you just wanted the legs to be smaller. And then if you want to modify the roof, you'll have to do that in your own program. If you just want to remove everything, on the bottom left-hand side, you just can go remove legs, remove roof, remove top, and let's just put everything back to normal quick. Right, so if we had a box now that was open, we can add in inserts. So we can add in inserts, and we can say, okay, we want 6 columns, 6 rows, 3 columns, and then it will divide it up for you accordingly. There was something else. Oh, if we only say we wanted that height only to be 50 high, because we wanted to make it put a little tray on top of that inset, you can give it a certain height as well. And then when you export this, and you bring it into your program, you can just cut it. So if we had that little tray box, let's say we just made it let's make it people like hinge lids nowadays. Let's make it a hinge lid. Is there any questions up to now? Everybody on board? Also, I'm going to show you what I do from here to get it from here into Coral. Well, I use Coral, but from here, how you can get it into whichever program you're currently using. Where's my... Okay, I'm going to continue. So once you've got your design figured out and you're happy with all your settings, then you can either export a DXF, a SVG, or a STL. I normally do a DXF or a SVG. They both work fine now. I don't really have a use for STL. The only irritating thing with this website is that it downloads everything in a zip file. So you first have to unzip it before you can load it. So it's quite an irritating step. If anybody finds a way around it, or if I'm doing something dumb, I'd love to know. Anyways, I'm just going to click on DXF to say download it. It puts it into your download folder. Like I said, it puts it in this silly zip file. So if you've got WinZip or a good zip program, you can use it. Otherwise, you can right click on it and you can just open it with Windows Explorer. I don't even bother unzipping. I just copy them out and paste them back. I couldn't be bothered with a zipping program. Anyways, once they unzipped, I don't have my Coral open yet. Sorry guys, I'm just opening Coral quick. Well, I lie, nothing in Coral is quick. So you can go file, import, you can go file, open, whichever way you want. I like to just go straight to wherever I've downloaded in the documents. I click and I hold and I just drag it into my program. It works with 99.9% of programs, in case you didn't know that trick. So all your different software, Corel, Inkscape, AutoCAD, all these programs handle and understand lines differently. So when the guys generally make these programs and they export them, whatever those people are familiar with, the exports will work well with that. I know in Corel, often we battle when these things are grouped and they've got SVG data and all kinds of weird things. And I don't like battling with that. Ek hou glad nie van die gesukkelry nie. So what I do is I take my fill tool, my smart fill tool, and I just go along and I just color them in. I see that one's got some nonsense there. And I delete the original import. If you really want to battle and stuff, you can try and ungroup it and weld the lines and mess around for another few minutes, but I find that works well for me. Yeah, and then from there, that's basically it on how to make different fancy boxes. The only thing now is you have to go and sit and then just literally play with the different buttons. And what I love about it is that as you change something, you see it happen immediately. So you don't have to imagine. Like some of the websites, they expect you to know what the settings mean, and you have to imagine what you were trying to do.
Soos daai cabinet of daai ander dinge wat ek gebruik by hom.
Guys, any questions? You want to say anything about the box maker? Otherwise, I'll do one of the other things. Otherwise, ask and then I can show you if you're not getting it right on your side, or if you want to share your screen.
Billy, can you just show us that grouping and ungrouping again, please?
Oh, okay, cool. Right, I'm going to just bomb this. I'm going to go, this time I'm going to go file, import. I'm going to bring in my DXF. So you see, when you bring it in, it's already grouped a certain way for whatever they were understanding. If you're lucky, like in this case, you see it's actually a nice one already. But I always just assume that these things aren't going to work properly. Then I go and I use it's called the Smart Fill tool. I click on the Smart Fill tool and then I click inside the different places just to color the ones in that I want. If I color this one in, it's going to have some nonsense there with that text, and I don't feel like deleting that text, so I'll just copy and paste the other one. And then I just literally just delete all the old nonsense. And look how nice and clean the drawing is now. Now I've got a few things here in my layer, not 150 or sometimes 2,000 different things or whatever. I don't know if that's what you were asking.
Perfect, thank you.
Lekker. Let me try and show you why I'm saying. I don't know if I got a. Let me see if I got a SVG. Yeah, SVGs and Corel aren't good friends. Can make nice SVGs, but it doesn't always understand them so lekker. Let's sort of take this one. That was from the same program, but I brought it in as a. Well, no, this is one I fixed and made. Sorry, me. So with any box maker, when you're using these things, don't just assume that it's right. Just give it a bit of a sanity check. Like, if there's text in the middle of somewhere that you don't want text or whatever, box space, that looks like a native one. So you see over here on the right hand side, when you bring an SVG in, it's got a thing and it's got an SVG data locked, and then it's got a layer and it's got. So now you try and you right click and you ungroup, then you sit with a whole lot of extra things, or you undo, you try and ungroup all, now you sit with a bunch of things, but now you can't delete. You got to then go and unhide each of these guys, and you got to go unlock all of them. And by that time that you've see there, it's still locked, and you got to. And all I'm trying to do is I just want to make a bloody boxy. So that's why I like taking my full tool. I go boom, 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 boom. I hold in my shift button. I select the ones that I want. I pull them one side, and I just delete the nonsense from wherever. And this works with most files from 3-axis from anywhere. If you get an ugly file, don't try and fix the lines and stuff. Just make sure they're closed, and then try and color them in. It normally solves a lot of problems you're having with any shape, even ones you've drawn yourself. It's a pretty cool trick. All right, yeah. So play with that, and then if you guys get stuck with something, pop a WhatsApp. If I get a chance, I'll respond, or pop it on the group, and we can all try and help each other if you get stuck with something. Just keep in mind, Gravini, for example, I believe that the width it uses, it's normally the outside width, but it can get tricky that you got to keep your maths about you a bit. If you start putting a rim on the outside, let's say I put a 10 mil rim on that thing. Keep in mind that this setting of the width here was the setting of this inside box. It's not the setting of the rim. So just be careful that you don't 3 mil out or 9 mil out or whatever the case. As a matter of interest, normally with a rim, I just about always put a 3 millimeter rim. It makes it nice and steady when you actually assemble the box. Okay, onwards to something more fun. The cube designer, by the way, is pretty dumb. It's just like the box designer, but can do less. Or I don't know if it's for making Rubik's cubes or what, but yeah, maybe they're still working on it. Shelf designer is pretty handy. By the way, guys, if you register an account to these guys and you log in and stuff, I believe there is a place that you can actually tip this guy if you like the work that he's doing, and if it's bringing you money in, it's only fair to go and support the guy. I mean, if we give him some support for the support he's giving us, he can carry on doing it. Obviously put a lot of work in. Yeah, I'm just going to change my material to 3 mil always. That's the thing I forget the most. Whenever I come in here, I put all my sizes in. When I cut the box, I've made the tabs for the wrong thickness. So always double check your thickness. My default is normally 25. Okay, it's telling me 20 is the smallest we can go with, whatever size box we got in here. So yeah, you put in your width, your height, your depth as per standard. Drawers, we can put drawers on, we can put drawers off. So now it's just a bookraki. We put the lighties on, then it's got little lighties. We can add doors. Yeah, in the bottom right, we can put little doors on. Look how freaking cool that is. doors with lighties, or doors with no lighties, however you want it. It's pretty cool. I must admit that would normally take quite a while to try and do a design like that, even if you know exactly what you want to do. And then yeah, over here with the cells, we can tell it if we want 3x2, 3x1. Obviously, you'd have to just go and do some maths yourself on a paper to get your sizing and stuff 100% right. But yeah, it's about as complicated as that. Let's make it out of. When I'm showing people perspex things, I normally put it in this metal one just so they can see it's not wood. So no, it's the shiny of the perspex. There it opens, closes. Can we change anything? I haven't actually played with this one much. Let's see what can we. Maybe we can put a room. See, we can put a room there. Can put a room over there. What else can we do? Yeah, I don't like the metal. Guys, if I shake around too much, it's all the coffee. We can put legs on. So I'm literally just going around and I'm clicking and seeing what can we click on and what can we change. Okay, so it looks like we can't do fancy editing on the actual designs and patterns and things, but that's still fine. Let's export this box as is. I'm going to take it as a SVG this time. And again, that puts it in a silly zip file. So I just right click, open with Windows Explorer. Jeez, it gave me so many versions. I really wish they wouldn't have that step. Let's just drag them all in. I don't even know why it gave me 3. We'll see what the difference is now. There must be like a default sheet size or something somewhere that you can set up, then it puts it onto different sheets, the entire box, all the different parts. I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, here they are. A quick inspection. None of the text is inside any of the stuff. So yeah, once again, I'm not going to battle to understand my drawing. Control and G is to group, or you can right click and go group, select. No, they're not group. Something's locked. Yeah, I see. Anyways, let's get rid of the rubbish. Squirreling. Gonna get my smart fill tool, and I'm just gonna go along and color in the important ones that I want to keep. Yeah, this one's got a hell of a lot of parts. And then I'm just going to delete that rubbish. Then we have our parts. On the original one, the original SVG that comes in, they've got the labels if you do need them. And what's nice is that you've got that little 3D model that you can look at on your computer screen when you're actually building it. Then if you want to do little patterns, you'd have to just then go and do your own patterns or design or whatever you want to do on your boxy and modify it. I guess any questions? Anybody want to say something? If you're tired of listening to me and somebody else wants to talk? Right, I'll do the next one.
Sorry, buddy.
I'm listening.
Your legs at the bottom there, I see they're only on the sides and the back. Can you make it on the front as well? Is there an option, or is it?
I don't see one. Let's see, legs, no. So then what would we do? Yeah, let me have a quick look. Yeah, you'll probably have to just manually go 3 mil in here and oh, it's got one at the back, so we can probably just take that one from the back, clip that piece out in coral, make little tabs and have it slot in over there. But yeah, on here itself, there's no.
Okay, no, that's fine. Thanks.
Let's see if I make it bigger. Maybe it was that small because it was. Oh, that is quite a strange one. I never noticed it. Interesting. No, it just doesn't seem to put it in the front. The box maker, however, it did have them. Let's check. Yeah, the box maker puts them everywhere. Maybe it's an error in his code. Pop him a mail. He's got his details on the website.
Could it be that because you've got the little doors that opens and closes that he didn't put the legs on the front?
Yeah, let me
It will interfere.
replicate it quick. Put add doors. Click on the side. Add legs. Let's remove doors. Boom. No, it's probably in his code that he probably didn't want it written there for some reason. He probably wanted it open in the front, I guess, for some reason. But if we ask him, he can probably just in an update again, build it in again. These guys they like good positive feedback. But yeah, good catch. Imagine looking for that part when after you've cut and you're like, where's my feet?
Yeah, it's just I think it'll give it more stability with it, especially.
Okay, man.
Yeah. Especially when you open those doors, it's gonna fall over forward.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Ben je naar buiten?
Oh, is die voetjies hier so nou?
Ellie, there's been a request for a wine box.
Okay, we're gonna do those now. Just looking for the one that's got the back feet. Oh yeah. So
Ja, jy stout.
here's the one with the back feet. So just gonna make it a little bit thicker so we can see it. So what I would do there, I would just grab my rectangle tool, draw a rectangle around, grab my full tool and color that one in. Or you can go and take your polyline tool and you can draw the whole thing. I like to work as simple as possible. That's why I like my little full tool. And there you've got your basic shape. My default tab sizes I use so that I never get confused with them. I like to go 10 mil. Ooh, that's not 10 mil. 10 mil by 10 mil by 3 mil.
Ah, die ou moet jou bietjie leer. Die ou moet jou bietjie leer. Nee, ek nie.
Grab it, I put it on the edge, I move it 10 mil in, copy it from there.
Dan maak ek net keer, maar gaan hy oor na die kant.
Stick it on the other side here, bring it 10 mil in, and then we do the famous weld. Then we need to find the floorboard. The floorboard is this one over here. I'll make it blue. Just showing you my process. There's probably 100 ways you can do this. Just want to flip this guy around. And I literally take this guy as he is here. I put him down next to that one. And wherever, did I get that on the corner? Or did I miss it? Oh, the line's just thick. I just draw the little square over there where that tab is. Draw the little square where this tab is. Move this one to the side. Select those, the blue one, which was the original floorboard, and then the two little black ones are the where those tabs have to slide in. And I'm gonna do a back minus front. Now, if you
Sorry, just say that back minus front. What's that?
so let me just make these things nice and black so you can see them proper. I just want to, I'm going to rotate it, then we can zoom further. Okay, so over here we've got a blue shape. And if we look in our object layers, I'm going to get them all together. If we get them here in our object layers, we'll see that this one is on top of this one, and this one is on top of this one. If I change the order, the blue one is now in front and the black ones are behind. If the blue one is below, then the other two are on top. So what the back minus front does, it's basically subtracting two objects from one another. So we have the black one and we have the blue one, and I want to do a back minus front. So I want to keep the back and I want to take the front away. When I click on the back minus front button over here, it deletes that for you. The long way, if you don't remember back minus front, is you can go and you can add in a node, and you can add in another node. But see now, oh, now if you're not careful, you can, but you can see now this is 20 clicks. Sometimes it's therapeutic, but most of the time I don't have the time for 20 clicks. If I undo that, if you just select it and you select it, back minus front. I like back minus front because I always order my stuff in that way. If it was ordered differently, let's do a quick experiment. Let's put that one on top. And if we now said back minus front, it's it's going to tell us nothing has changed because it's trying to take to keep the small one and take away the big one, so there's basically nothing there. But if we were to say, because my stuff's reversed, I can go front minus back. So keep the front, take away the back. That can give me that answer. Or I can say weld them, and it all becomes one solid thing. You can also do an intersection, which is pretty cool. So if I do intersection, it's going to give me that was the line of intersection between those shapes. So for example, you might have had, let's draw some weird thing here. You had some weird shape there or some weird text and you wanted the intersection within your boundary. You could say, give me intersection, and then it only gives you the part where the two overlap each other. There's another one, simplify. I don't use it often because quite honestly, I don't understand it. Never bothered trying to understand it. So trim overlapping areas. So let's see, boom. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what it does, but I never use it. I normally use front minus back or back minus front, and I definitely use weld.
Thanks, Billy. It was interesting.
Pleasure. If I oversimplify anything, nobody shoot me. I'm just talking in a way that I'm assuming that nobody knows anything, so so that everybody can understand. Okay, on Shelf Designer. Interesting thing about the legs, I'll also pop the guy a message, see if he responds. It looks like he's working very hard at this, so I'm sure he will. Chest Designer. I think this one is the one that's going to change most people's lives. Because these things are, oh man, they're not nice to make. And most of the time you have to try and bugger around with the hinges. This thing seems to have its own hinge system. I'm not a fan of it, but it's nice. And then these are a nice touch, the little latches, and then of course the little anpasseltjies or whatever you call them on the side. That's pretty cool. I'm actually going to download one of these boxes and just take the hinge mechanism out of here and keep the hinge mechanism for my own designs, because I've been just recently designed a hinge, but oh man, these locking hinges are tricky. Anyways, let's fiddle here. It's on 3mm wine bottle. Oh, how are they? What they 320, I think. Let's make it 320 long. Jeez. Somebody know what a wine bottle is? 120, I think. I can't remember. Something like 90 or 120 at the base, for the square at the back, yeah. 135. Yeah, 120. So we make it kind of square. So yeah, it's got this kind of it can be a treasure chest, a wine box. What's cool is you can now add in inserts, you can change your cells, can change the height of them. Oh, that was pretty cool. So that little lid insert, I don't know if you saw there what it's done. It was like a little stabilizer. Like a little stabilizer there for the lid. But then also it gives you that, depending on how clean looking you want your box. If you don't want the lid insert, you can either remove it or add it, and then within Corel or your editing program, just remove the little tabs and then paste it in as a semicircle for stability or something. Is there anything fancy on this one? We can set our normal things. Let's make a little pirate chest for a school birthday party. definitely help with the quoting process when you send your client a little video of this thing opening and closing. I often do it. I send them, is this what you're looking for? And then I can rotate it and I can speak to them on the video. And then they can actually tell me if they understand it or not, which some of them still don't. Chest designer, guys, you guys tried it? Was like carry on? Do you want me to still blab on about chest designer at all?
This is a matter of interest, Billy. Can you remove the handles on the side or not? Or is that built in?
Hold left. Hold left. Doesn't look. Oh, okay. Now we can make them. We can make them rectangular. Can make them round. Can't remove it there. Can't remove it. Now it looks like you get one or the other. You'll have to in your program. You'll have to just close those little holes and delete those. Delete those parts. It looks like. Doesn't look like you can switch it off. Yeah. You should have a little button like he's got over here. Remove handles. Remove lock. That would be quite cool.
Just don't fancy giving him a wine bottle and it snaps now to replace his expensive bottle of whatever he had in there.
Yeah, that'll be hilarious. 800 rand or 1,800 rand bottle of wine or something. Yeah, I would just remove them in the editing program once you got the SVG. Like I said, normally with these things, I'll download it like this. And then I'll go and do my own edits. I'll go and add on little hearts or whatever the people want and put borders and trimming. And I normally put my own little latches and stuff onto them and my own hinges because I don't really like this hinge system. It's solid. So I must say it works. I like it more discreet. But yeah, I guess we can't get everything for free just yet. So we'll take what we can get. I think there was one more. Shape designer. This one, I forget about it so often that I go and I make it can't handle any shape under the sun though. It's got certain shapes that it can do. Heart, tree, star, circle, rectangle. Heart, which we basically do all times of the year. We can set the size of our heart. We set our material thickness. Can mess around with your curve there. Add a lid. So it's got these little ones that come through with little locks. Okay, and you'll have to do your own editing for the lid in your own program. But let's have a look there. Okay, so the tree is interesting. Top room, what does that do? Okay, no, okay, that was just the rooms. Remove lid. Tree, star. Can you choose the number of sides, thickness curve, plywood, star? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like you can only do a 7-sided star. Can we change the numbers? Okay, that's the pocket feature. Full room. Add a room to the outside. I love my rooms. Much easier to assemble with these, especially with these odd shapes. We can put a lid on. Okay, so there's not many options with the lids and stuff, but we can make a lot of these random requests we get. We can find different shaped circles. How many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. A 16-sided circle, so it's not a bad resolution, whatever you call a 16-sided thing. Then we have, that's pretty dumb. We could have just made that in our box maker, but oh well. If you want to come and use it over here, there's another way you can do it. I would just edit I wouldn't have such long lock holes in here. I mean, that's just going to break off. I would have a little hole just in the center and have it coming out a small piece over there. But once again, you just have to edit that yourself. hexagon, 6. Yeah, so there's quite a couple of cool features there. While we're here, let's just look at the Cube Designer. It's exactly like the box maker, just with less features. I think he might be having an idea with it. I think he's going to be turning it into like a Rubik's Cube maker or something. I'm not quite 100% sure. I get nothing if I click. Don't get anything fancy. You can just make a stupid box. Whereas the box designer is the Mamba one where we can make anything. Guys, dis my storie, dis wat ek het. As julle vra het, sal ek hier sit vir nog so 20 minute of so en dan kan ons gesels en dan kan julle goedjies in Karel wys of wat ook al. I think you guys have got up makercase.com. I just gooi makercase into the address bar, takes you to makercase. You'll see over here they've got some different things you can play with. I normally just use this for my basic boxes. It's normally in inches. You have to just always change it to millimeters and say if you want inside or outside dimensions, which is a pretty cool function, which the other one doesn't have. So I normally always work on my outside and I calculate in my head what my inside will be, but some people work different. Yeah, you can choose a series of different thicknesses, or you can do a custom thickness for your own material if you've got a 2.7 or whatever. You can choose open or closed. And then your edge joints, it can be flat, or if you're doing like something that you want to do a nice woodworking project. Then you've got jigs, the finger joints, and then over here with a slider you can change your finger sizes. What I don't like about this one is that I can't type in a number. You're going to try and wiggle your mouse until you get a number, and it irritates me because I want to get it on exactly 35 or exactly on 30, and I can never get it. There's always I'll take 33. But I probably won't get 30. It's can irritate. Okay. But yeah, sometimes you have to pick a strange number. It won't allow you. And then the T slot. If you never knew what a T slot is, it took me years to figure out. That's where you use little bolts and you slide a nut into there and you put a bolt in from this side and then you tighten it with a nut and a bolt as a matter of interest. So you can actually glue your little nut into that part of the T, and then from this side, yeah, your little nut screws your box together. Yeah, and you can choose your bolt diameters and your bolt lengths, but that's about as fancy as this one gets. You can open and close it, but like I said, I normally just make my wine box or whatever to the size that I wanted, and then I take it into Corel and then I edit further in there. I put the artwork and the cutouts and everything on. So for example, if this was going to be my wine box, I would have done that for my wine box, taken it into Corel and then fixed it up. Or if you want a very nice one, we go to Gravini and we do that one with a chest. And these ones are exactly the same thing. It's just that it can do various different shapes. But yeah, you can actually specify the amount of sides. We're not limited to only 6 or 8 or 12. We can actually do any amount of sides, which is quite nice. And you can choose your material thicknesses, if it's open, closed, or if it's a finger joint or whatever. I must stop saying whatever. These boxes with the round corners, when you export it, it exports it with those living hinges, those little cut lines. I don't like those. They just make my cuts take forever. I rather make a square box, or I put tabs in to make the corners round. I don't like these. But if you wanted to make these ones with a bendy wood, you can go to the boxes with the round corners, and then the box divider over here is the same as on the other one. We can set our rows and our columns. Can we do the height on this one? Fingers. I don't think this one, we can't do the height, eh? No, we can't do the height on the inserts. So yeah, Gravini is definitely better with the fancy boxes. But if you're in a hurry, I pop here into Maker Case, I make my box here, export it, and use it from here. If you've got a little bit of time to play and you want to get lost, then pop into Gravini. One evening we can do a session on just editing these things in Coral. You know, where we say, okay, we're not going to open Maker Case or Gravini. We've got a square box that can fit a wine bottle, for example, and then say, okay, how do we turn this box into a box that opens and closes and it's got all the different parts for a wine box? We can do something like that to edit these things. I think that'll be quite nice for people.
Well, can I ask you a question quickly about the boxes?
Sure.
In Gravini, if you make the box, or even in, I don't think in this one you can do it. If you want a little lip on the front of the box to stop something from sliding out, is that possible? You know what I mean? You say you got the open box, but you just got like a little ridge on the front of the box, so whatever's in there can't slide out. I don't know if you've got me there.
I don't at
Okay,
all.
so imagine you're using it as a shelf and you want to put something in it, and it's leaning to the back, and you just don't want it to slide out of the box. So you put a little lip along the front end of the box, so it leans against that lip. You know, the item that you've got in there.
Yeah, no, that's not possible. Yeah.
Okay, and in Gravini, oh, this is Gravini.
This is Gravini. Maker Case, definitely not. Boxes.py.light or something. Boxes.py. Oh, just search for it. Boxes. It's got a very strange. Will I not find it now? GitHub. Boxes.py. So this boxes.py it's obviously a program written by programmers, but it was like a box maker written by for people with laser cutters who understand programming. It seems like. Let's not find the correct link. It works very nice, but often you just got to play a little bit. Festi, that's the one. Festi.info. Strange. And over here you can make all kinds of different things. But like I said, you're gonna have to go and sit and play. You know, little camera lenses and little dice boxes, things that can open and close, number pads. So you can probably find something that you're looking for in here and then try and modify it. So let me show you, for example, when you go into one of these things, you can get bombarded. Just look at all these settings. So it probably takes you, the first time you do this, probably going to take you a day just to figure out what the settings mean that you put in, because you have to put them in, export, look what it looks like in your program. It doesn't give you a nice visual unless you know exactly what the settings are, and you can visualize it in your brain kind of. But see what happens.
So,
Just
which program is this now? This is which one?
Let me copy it out, Jim. I'm going to send you the link. It's Festi Boxes or boxes.py. Where's my chat gone? I have to stop sharing so I can chat here. I've popped it in the link here. But yeah, go and you can really get lost. You can get lost in this one. A lot of fun, but I think they've even got marble runs and oh man, can stop working for 3 weeks and just fiddle. Oh wow, spice racks, that's new. This whole patterns is also the first time I see it. Well, these guys have really got a lot more in their calculator. Oh, look at this coin display. For you guys that are making those beautiful coins on the group for the fiber lasers, this will freaking be stunning. Or like carrot that's with these game cases and stuff. You know, if you can modify this kind of thing and it can do it for you automatically. Wow. Yeah, one of these, yeah, you'll probably be able to find a calculator that can do what you want. Ooh, yes, quite nice. Desk science, the skew standy. I think I saw one once where you could even make a computer box that fits standard motherboards and stuff. But yeah, that depends on how complicated you want to be and how much you want to battle. I often, like I say, I know what I want in my head, so I just download a basic box from MakerCase and I rather edit it in my editing program because it often takes me longer to come here and try and get all these settings correct to give me this box. Whereas if I just drew it myself in my program, it would have taken me 10 or 15 minutes and I would have been done. But if you find me 2 hours later and I'm still trying to fine tune settings, that can get rather irritating sometimes. When you don't know what you're doing, that is. Once you know it, great stuff. Where's only put on my list here. I've made a Word document where I put all my links to other sites and stuff. Just pop me a WhatsApp and remind me, and I'll send you guys all the different places where there's with calculators and box designers, file generators, jigsaw puzzle generators, all of those kind of things that we can use in our everyday businesses. I've shared it before in the group. Well, share it quite often. But yeah, if you want it, give me a shout, and I'll happily share it with you. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm gonna call it.